All right, I think we are good. Just waiting for it to come up. Go post it on my Discord saying we are live now. Right?
Okay. Yep. I will do that.
Your content. It has an orange thing. Hello, Wii Gamer.
Hello.
We're just making sure that everything is fine.
Making sure most things in life are fine. Even.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wonder what the issue is.
You want me to tag everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let everyone come, right?
Sure. I also posted it on Twitter.
Okay, how's the stream now? Alright, so we're gonna exit and we're gonna come back and hopefully it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, they're probably just like, we subscribed for Zelda. This
You're
isn't
us
Zelda.
Not
this is
Zelda.
This is Robin. Alright, so it's green now. Everything is fine. Alright.
Super green.
So today, everyone who's joining, Holly, no, this isn't Holly. This is Maya.
I wish. I
wish. We might have Holly on the podcast sometime soon, though. If you guys want. All right. So. I don't know. The stream's doing something weird.
You're doing something weird.
Might have Holly.
Is YouTube down again? Is it crashing?
No, YouTube is being weird. Okay, so I think we're ready, right? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Everyone's ready? Cool.
There might have been a doorbell in the background.
Nice.
Maybe. Hello.
Alright, so we're all ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
All three of us?
All three of... Wait, what?
Alright.
Are you pregnant, Jesse?
Yeah. Alright. Hello everyone and welcome. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse. Here with us is Maya, who some of you may know from the recent Breath of the Wild live streams that we've had on my channel, and of course she's always live streaming on Twitch as well.
Hi.
Today we're going to be giving our review for episode 2 of DC's Titans, available to watch only on the DC Universe streaming app, which is kind of bad because like the app itself isn't bad, but it's bad that such a great show is only available on a platform that hardly anyone seems to know about, because I had to recommend it to like 15 different people throughout this week because nobody knew. All of these friends of mine who are huge fans of like DC and Batman and like the Titans and everything, but they had no idea that this app existed. And then I told them about it, they ordered it, and then they were like, oh my god, it's yeah,
I only knew about it because I knew it was the only place you could legitimately watch Teen Titans without having to like scrape it from the depths of Hades.
Yeah. All right, so what were your overall thoughts on this episode? It introduced 2 new characters, Hawk and Dove, which has a very troubled relationship, I would say. So yeah, what were your overall thoughts, like starting out on the beginning?
Yeah, so we haven't talked about it yet because we're like we were gonna be saving it for the stream.
Exactly.
So my initial thought was, oh my god, I love this pairing more than anything in the entire universe. I ship them forever in my entire life. Now, I don't know a lot about DC in general or a lot about Hawk and Dove as their own superhero characters or backstories. So I don't know if Hawk and Dove had a thing originally in the comics or if that was just a thing that they're doing for the show. But either way, I was a super big fan of it for at least the beginning. And then as things progressed and kind of we got more information, as we'll explain, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this anymore. What about you? What did you think?
So it starts out with them, they're trying to stop this big gun sale, I guess. It's from what I gathered, it was like a smaller part to like a bigger thing, because they kept on saying after they stop this big thing they'll have enough money to basically retire and not be superheroes. So it kind of seemed like they were superheroes, not to necessarily be heroes, but for the benefits of collecting money and stuff from like stopping all of the criminals, or like maybe they can stop. Ooh, nice. Like maybe they can stop like a big drug deal or something from happening, and then instead of turning in all of the money and stuff, they'll just keep the money, and then the cops will come and like take the drugs or the weapons or whatever. So they kept on planning to stop this big gun deal, I guess. I don't know. It started out with like a crazy torture scene, because like he was, you know, getting burned by cigarettes and stuff, and then the guy
Hawk was.
Yeah, and then he just brings out some giant scissors and he threatens to cut off his
He's like, take off his pants is what he said. Remove his pants.
And that's when Dove came in to save him, which kind of happened again later on. It was a very similar scene where this time they were both tied up, but then Robin came to save. So it seems like Hawk is not a very effective hero, because all three times actually that we've seen him in a fight with bad guys, he lost. Someone had to come and save him. So not a very good
But the actor
hero.
who plays him is 10 out of 10, so it's okay.
And then there was a weird scene I didn't understand if because after that it shows him like trying to fix his wounds and everything, and he's getting in the bathtub. Yeah. And I don't know if he's, because he injects himself with something. I was confused on if he was like addicted to drugs, or if it was like steroids to make him stronger, or what it was, because it's in the world of DC where they have people like Bane who, you know, uses everything to make himself stronger. Right. And keep himself alive, and there's other people like,
which kind of plays into a part later, like some characters later. I kind of, from that scene, I thought he was diabetic, maybe? I wasn't too sure if that was like, I wasn't sure, because like right after that he injects himself like in the leg with something, and then Dove like comes into the bathroom and she's like, oh, and he's like taking a drink of beer, and then he's like, and then Dove says something along the lines of, oh, is that really good for you, or is that like something that you should be doing, or I don't know exactly. It was like, is that good for your blood sugar or something like that? I don't remember exactly. But either way, that's the kind of thing that I got from it, but I could totally be wrong.
Okay, well, my grandmother is diabetic, and usually every morning, sometimes during the evening, I'll have to like fix her needles, because you have to get like the measurements just right. And for
Julian says I'm right.
Yeah, but like for insulin and stuff that you would need when you're diabetic, like you wouldn't be getting as much as he would be.
Well, maybe it's really bad. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's why, because he took pills after. So I didn't know if he was like doing like heroin or something to stop the pain, or if he was like maybe some like superhero serum, like with Captain America, where he like gets injected with the stuff and then he's all super. Because we've seen, again, like you mentioned, something similar later on.
Yeah. I don't think it was that, though, because he'd be a lot better. Like, because he can fight, but he'd be better. Losing. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it
so that scene was kind of weird, but
yeah. We end up finding out it's their 3.5-year anniversary.
Between Hawk and Dove.
Yes. She goes to the bathroom cabinet, and she has like a flashback to when, I guess, like a year into their relationship, maybe.
No, a year before.
It was just
1 year before that? 6 months before.
Okay. So it was a flashback 6 months before they were fighting, and like Robin came and saved them. So yeah, there's 4 times. There was 4 fights. 4 fights Hawk was in, and he lost all fights. And someone had to come save him. It's ridiculous. So, you know, they come in, or Robin comes in, saves them, and then, like, he says something like, oh, why aren't you with your boss, or something like that. And then, like, are you out hanging out with, like, the bad guys or something?
Robin's like, he doesn't know I'm here.
Yeah, he's like, he says, like, something like that, alluding to, like, you know, being out with the bad kids. And then there's like a weird scene that kind of implied to me that maybe Robin and her were maybe seeing each other or cheating. And then throughout the
Well,
rest,
they weren't together at the time.
Yeah, and then throughout the rest of the show, like, Hawk has a huge hate towards Robin, and whenever there's scenes with Robin and Dove together, they seem like there used to be like a past relationship there or something between them. So to me, what I took out of it was that while Hawk and Dove were together, Robin and Dove like had an affair or something, and then like she cheated on him, and then they're like trying to work it out and stay together and stuff. So that was my thoughts.
Go good. I thought that they were probably a thing before Hawk and Dove were really a thing. Like, I thought that they dated probably for a little bit, and then a little bit later, Rachel playing Raven, but Rachel says, like, why did you hurt her to Robin? So I think that implies that Robin ended whatever kind of relationship that he had with Dove, and then that's when Dove and Hawk kind of decided to start dating. But Dove's never been over it, I think, has been like the biggest issue. She's never really given up on that. Or she's still... still... Robin's the one who got away.
Yeah, she still has feelings for him and stuff. And then like there was they tried to make a big deal about, for the 3.5-year anniversary, he built like a bird cage on the roof, which probably meant or was supposed to mean a lot to them, but as a viewer watching, you're just like, oh, a bird cage.
Well, he built it with his own hands.
Yeah, but it's...
And it was filled with doves, and she's Dove, and he loves Dove. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
To me, I watched it and I was like, oh.
So you were into it. I watched it and I was like, okay, that's cool, but like, where's the...
He loves Dove. He loves her. Well, okay, he did give her birds for her 3.5 years.
It seemed like he was like maybe like too aggressive in the relationship. And
for sure.
So that was my thought, that like they were together and he was like the bad boyfriend or whatever that like pushed her away and was like too aggressive and mean. And then like Robin always being around, being the nice guy, and then they did stuff or got together for a while, and now that's over. And then so who knows, like I don't know, you could be right, I could be right. Let us know if you've watched it. Comment below and let us know what your thoughts on it was. I guess next we can move to like the Psycho family. That's like the Psycho
it's like
version
a Resident Evil family.
Yeah, I thought like the Psycho version of The Incredibles.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, they're not like super powered like them exactly. I mean, they kind of, it's kind of not explained how they work, you know? Yeah. I thought it was a very interesting concept. You know what it reminded me of? Like a 50s family. Of like the perfect ideal family. You know, you have the working man, you know, the mom, you know, the stay-at-home mom, the, you know, older brother, and then the young sister. And that's kind of the way I like felt about it. I was just like, oh, what, like a loving family. And I was like, when did they die? It was my immediate first thought is, okay, when do they die? And then, you know, he gets so basically the dad, they're like all having a normal conversation over breakfast or something like that. It looks like a normal family scene. Then the doorbell rings. So the dad goes to answer the door, and some guy basically tells him that, hey, you need to find, what was it? They give him a picture of Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Or something like, so they give him a picture of Raven.
It says you're activated.
Yeah, and say like, you've been activated. And so the dad goes back to the kitchen, like opens a cupboard and pulls out all these syringes. And he pulls them out and he turns to his family. He goes, okay, who goes first? And then all the kids, like his 2 kids are like, me, like me first. So it's like this, that was a weird scene. I didn't know how to feel about it. I was like, okay, this went from something adorable to something terrifying. Let's see where this goes. So that's, I don't know. It was kind of an interesting introduction, and because I don't know anything about DC Comics, I don't know if that's like a thing again in the comics.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up to see what the family was, but
Yeah, it's possible they could have just done it for the show, but it just seems so strange. It was just a very like what strange villains. Like it
Okay,
was
yeah.
interesting.
So this calls
Hey,
it
Aga.
the nuclear family.
The nuclear family. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So it calls them the nuclear family, and then there's a photo where the wife has the syringes,
Yeah.
and it says a nuclear solution.
Interesting.
So, nuclear family DC. That's what this says. Okay, so yeah, it says a nuclear family first appeared in Outsiders #1, were created by Jim and Mike. An early researcher in nuclear science named Dr. Eric Shanner. And this could have been changed for
The show.
the TV. Yeah, so
Sorry, I'm just messing with my cat who keeps trying to eat things in my room.
while vowing to teach the world about the effects of radiation and nuclear poisoning, he began to do it years later by building a group of androids with Dad resembling a younger version of himself and 5 others to resemble his family members. Each of the androids was endowed with powers that are similar to different stages of the nuclear bombs. Dr. Shanner then sent them to destroy the city of Los Angeles. So, yeah, with this, it doesn't really... They seemed like they were normal people, just injecting themselves to get stronger, kind of like what the one guy was doing. But I wasn't really sure. It would be interesting if, I'm saying it would be interesting if, like, in the comics, if the family did turn out to be androids, and that would make sense to why they were acting the way they were, and then maybe, like, the serum they were taking just, like...
Activated them.
Yeah, like, fueled them, like, even more. Like,
yeah, I think that,
whatever.
I mean, we already know that in this universe...
Yeah,
like,
Cyborg's
Cyborg, yeah, right? Well, I guess Cyborg hasn't been in the show, but I doubt that they'd remove the idea completely.
Cyborg's in another show that'll be on the DC app, and it's
so
connected
it's
to
canon.
it. Kind of like how Flash and Arrow and everything are all connected. So Cyborg,
right,
a member of the Teen Titans in the comics and cartoons and stuff, but not a member of this Titans, which it's not really... The only teenager I assume is just Rachel.
Maybe Beast Boy.
I think she's like in her 20s, like the actor, because she doesn't look like she's like 14 or 16 or something. It kind of actually seems like she has like a love interest in Raven.
Rachel?
Yeah. To where,
I didn't get that at all.
He's like taking her in and taking care of her and everything, and then when she finds out that he's just gonna like dump her on the other guys, she gets well,
she's been looking for him, remember? She was looking for, you're the boy in the circus, you're the boy from the circus. Like, so for him to just
but that was another thing. Whenever she was watching on the computer and like all of the old videos of him, and she was like crying and stuff. So it was like she was in love with him, or she had.
I didn't get that at all. I think that I think that she has like a sort of like fascination with him that hasn't really been explained to us as the audience, like what she has to do with him. But I don't think that she loves him. I think that that's a little... No. Yeah. I don't think that's good. I don't think that would be appropriate either, considering he's like a young adult and she's in high school.
So no Beast Boy, no Starfire.
I know, I'm very upset.
But episode 3 is titled Origin, and the thumbnail for it was Starfire, so maybe it's going to be Starfire's story, whereas the first one was kind of like Robin's story, and then this one was Dove and Hawk, and then the next one
is weird.
Starfire. So.
Why would they okay, don't get me wrong, I actually really, really liked this episode. I thought that the fight scenes were super cool. Like the flashback that we get from when Robin swoops in on Hawk and Dove as they're like beating up a whole bunch of dudes in an alley, and they're like, "Oh, where's your boss at?" That was a really... Are you okay?
No, this
What are you doing?
4 away.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god!
Yeah, 4 away from 70,000.
follow, subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, maybe she's a yandere?
Yandere.
Oh. Isn't that like the anime thing?
Yes,
Okay.
it is a. I don't think so to answer that, but yeah. So I loved the episode. I loved meeting Hawk and Dove. Okay, but I don't want to. Let's talk about the rest of the episode, and then we'll go back to like things. So after the family happens, what happens next? Like after we first get introduced to the family,
It just cuts back to like
Hawk and Dove.
that's when the fight scene happens and
Yeah.
like he gets trapped or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it flips back to them. They get into another fight. Robin like shows up and everything's fine. Then they go back.
Well, they were about to get killed.
Yeah.
And then
And
Robin
then the torture
came
guy.
and Robin like destroyed everyone. Like he was doing things that were bad enough to where like you would think the Joker would be doing it, because like he threw his little ninja star that looks like an R,
Yeah.
and it went into someone's eye, and
Yeah.
he cut another guy's throat.
Yeah.
He terrorized everyone. Like everyone was so scared they were just running away. They didn't even try to shoot. And then he either killed or knocked all of them out. And then he saved them. And then the guy, Hawk, was still giving him an attitude like, oh, of course you're here.
And Dove was like, wow, you really have changed, haven't you? I haven't seen you like that before.
Yeah.
Because Robin never killed people as, Robin before this show. So it was interesting because they were basically like, he's a psychopath. Like he's like, did you see what he just did to all those guys? Like they were pinned, like Hawk and Dove were getting pinned down by like a group of men, and Robin literally just swoops in and murders all of them. And they're like, oh my god, he's a murder tornado of death. Like he's literally, like, that's a good way to put it though. Like he just wrecked all of them immediately, right?
Yeah.
So they were like freaked out by that, and then they go back to Hawk and Dove's apartment, where Raven's just gone. Like Rachel's not there, and she's actually like, I guess she found an envelope, and inside the envelope was
so
a
earlier
note.
there was a Batman Easter egg where the butler Alfred calls Robin and says something. I don't really know what he says.
Aw.
But I guess it's
Nathan
implied.
Cord says, I didn't know you guys were DC fans. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, yes we are. So the next scene after Alfred calls him, I imagine it was something where like Bruce is a billionaire. He's like, hey, give me like $20,000 because I need it to help this girl out. So then he goes, like, it shows a scene where he stops at like a bank or something, and he like goes into it, and you don't see him coming out, but then the next scene is him writing the letter, and then he puts everything in the envelope and hides it under towels. And then when they're out doing that whole thing, and Hawk and Dove almost die, Raven is still left in the house, and she finds the letter, and then she goes up to the rooftop, and she's all sad and stuff. And then
She's all staring at the birds.
Yeah.
In the bird cage.
Yeah, and then Hawk was mad because he's like, you were just gonna pin her on us, like make us take care of her.
Yeah, because Robin filled an envelope up with some money and then also left a note basically saying, I know you guys can take care of her, like watch out for her and stuff like that. And so Rachel found that and she was like, so immediately upset. So when they come back and they go and talk to her, she like shows Hawk and Dove the envelope, and they're like, "Whoa, you were just gonna drop her on us? Like, what's your problem?" Like all this like stuff, and Robin was just like, "Well, I was gonna come back for her," and then Raven does like a Vulcan mind meld thing where she like not reads his thought, but like she like touches him, and she's like, "I know you're lying. You're a liar." It's just like, oh, okay, so
yeah.
Yeah, so that was that, and then we have the family. Who, wait, we missed a scene. Because the family, the next time we see them,
they killed his partner.
Yeah, so Robin's partner, who I loved from the first episode, I'm very upset about it.
Well, we don't
I guess,
see her die.
well, she didn't die. Yeah, she just. So we see her. She like walks into where? What was it in the police station or was it her own apartment?
It was her apartment because she comes in, puts her gun and
Yeah.
everything down, and the little girl is
Okay.
crying in the corner. It's like
Yeah.
the Ring stuff.
It really is. So she goes up and she's just like, "Hi, how can I help you?" Like trying to. And so the girl, the crazy teenage girl, like turns around, and this is the first time we see them after they inject themselves with whatever it was, and she's like holding a pair of scissors and she slashes the partner's hand open. And so the partner's like, ah! And then as she's like freaking out about her hand, her brother comes up from behind with a baseball bat and boom, straight to the leg. So the partner falls over and she's like crawling away and she's like bleeding from her hand and stuff. And she's like, you know, she's in pain, obviously. And they're like, tell us where, like, your partner is. Tell us where your partner is. You know, like all this, you know, kind of stuff. And so I guess she tells them. And then I don't remember exactly if it just like cut to black or whatever before they did anything else to her. But like the dad and mom come into the room.
They're like, oh,
and
you didn't save fun for us.
Yeah, they didn't say anything for us. And then like it cuts to black. So it implies that they were told things. Also, I missed this earlier, but Rabbit says in the comic she mistakes her feelings for love and the demon persona takes over and ruins Robin and Starfire's wedding. So yeah, in the comics, there's like an arc where Raven turns like completely evil, like possessed by that demon, and she just ruins everything. So yeah, so I mean, it's a possibility that it was feelings for love then. Who knows? Maybe the demon loves Robin, but Rachel just kind of like, you know, is like, hi, Robin. I just want us to be friends.
Yeah,
so then fast forward to where they're on the roof, the family like shows up and they start kicking everybody's butt. And so Hawk goes down like immediately. And then again for the fourth time.
Literally loses every fight.
Every fight, yeah. And then the mom, I think, I'm not entirely too sure it was, but they punch Dove like so hard that she flies backward, destroys the bird coop, and flies off of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hawk's just yelling, Dawn, which is the character's name. So he's just, Dawn! And then they like hit him with a bat to the back of the head and he falls down. And then Robin, in the scuffle with like one of them, also falls off the side of the building. He just like rolls off. And Raven is just hiding behind like this big, I don't know, it's like an electrical box. I don't really know what you would call it, like a junction box or something. And so they go and they like surround her and they're like, oh, there you are, or something like that. And then it cuts to black. And so the next thing we see is Robin, and he's climbing back on the edge like he was holding on the whole time. He climbs back on the edge and he looks up and see that Rachel's gone, Hawk's on the ground, and he doesn't know where Dove is. So he gets back on the ledge and he like runs over to where she was and looks over and he's like, Dawn! And so, yeah. Do you want to explain this next part? Because it makes me kind of sad.
He goes down to check on her and she's like got blood all in her mouth and stuff. And she's basically dying. Or we're led to believe that she's about to die. But
yeah, the back of her head was like broken open because there was blood on the ground behind her head too.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. And then so the last thing we see really is Robin like trying to resuscitate her.
Okay, so to Starfire, what do you think Starfire in this show would have any sort of healing abilities?
Yeah, she had healing abilities in Teen Titans and the comics, I believe. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Since the next episode's about her and she's looking for Raven, could she show up and revive or heal?
I think that's a definite possibility. I think that would be better than the alternative of them killing off Dove completely. Because she was a badass character. We just got introduced to her and everything. And I get it, they're trying to be edgy and stuff, whatever. But, like, I think that would be better than the alternative. I think that would be really neat. That would be like a... Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Somewhat.
Well, I don't want to reference it then. But there's a character that dies later on that they end up, like, saving. But it was, like, the end of a series finale. So everybody was like, he's dead, he's dead, and then they end up bringing him back, and it makes sense the way that they do it, but it was everybody thought that he was dead. So I hope that it's not like one of those situations where they just introduce us to a really cool character and then immediately kill her off. I think it would mean more. This is gonna sound awful. I think it would mean more if they killed her off later. Got us to really though, like, because okay, so she has this thing with Robin, right, where she like has feelings towards Robin. We haven't seen her tell Rob. I thought that as she's dying there, if they had her say to Robin like, "I loved you, I always loved you," and then die, I would be like, okay, it's done. Like they're not bringing her back.
Been like, I hate you, and kicked her as she was dying.
Oh my god!
Like, I built you a bird cage. What did he do?
She's like, well, he is a. Well, I guess they're both birds. Oh, that was kind of funny in the beginning.
Oh,
when
that is true. They're all they're all birds. Okay.
So yeah, that was just. It was really interesting that they.
Oh, and
would
Raven.
Do that, so I hope that they don't. And
they're all birds.
They're all birds.
Oh my god.
This episode was just about the birds. You could even say that the bird was the word.
No. So, it ended with a raven, right? Flying into the screen?
Yes. Yeah, it was a weird CGI raven, which was strange. It looked really bad, though. Like, honestly, the CGI raven, I was like, oh, you could have gotten an actual raven. Like, come on, you had actual doves. It would have been easy. Hawk, dove, robin, raven. Yeah, I know, right? It was just really, I don't know, it was cool. So that was basically like the whole episode as it was. But I actually really, really liked the episode. I thought the fight scenes were super cool. I loved the relationship between Hawk and Dove before it showed anything about Robin. Yeah. I love, well, because I love
the very beginning, I was like, this seems like a very abusive relationship.
He's very defensive when it comes to Robin, but that's because he knows that they've had a thing in the past.
Well, before that, though, I was still like...
What do you mean? When? When did he ever show signs of aggression before Robin came into the picture? Other than the fact that he was beating up a whole bunch of dudes.
Well, like, he just seemed, like, the way that he was talking to her just seemed, like, kind of angry. And then when she was like, oh, what is today? And then he was, like, angrily... Or it seemed like he was angrily saying, like, oh, it's our 3.5-year anniversary.
No, he was so sweet. He's lying. He's actually wrong.
Yeah.
He was so sweet. Because she's like, what's this? Because she finds, like, the key to the bird coop, essentially, in, like, a little box. And so she's like, what's this? And he's just like, you think I would forget what today was? It's our 3.5-year anniversary. And she's just like... And I was like... It was just so sweet.
And
it was honestly so sweet.
When she's at the cabinet and she has the flashback, like, he doesn't know that she's thinking of Robin.
Yeah.
He just sees her standing there, and then, again, to me, he's just, like, angrily like, what's going on?
That's not even what... You need to watch the episode again. That's not what happened. It's not what happened.
Explain what happened.
Like, she walks in...
Maybe we watched different shows.
Yeah, we watched completely different shows. So... She's staring into the mirror and she's like daydreaming about Robin. She's like,
as we all
Robin.
do.
Oh, you know what the other thing was that we totally missed? Keeping it as PG as possible, they haven't been having the best luck when it comes to...
Oh, jeez.
Love, in ways. When it comes to, like, you know, their relationship in the bedroom, they weren't really having a... good time. Like, he was having problems, and so it also could have been partially that she's disappointed that he's been having issues, even though she says it'll be okay, and so she keeps thinking about Robin.
Could it be like the steroids that he's taking?
It's a possibility. He says it's the stress. If it is steroids, who knows? But like, he says it's stress, but you know, like, that's a bad time right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so he comes into the room, and she's just kind of, like, staring off, like, as, like, la-di-da-di-da, like, not really, like, paying attention. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Or, like, you know, says, like, something to her, and she immediately just goes, like, she was, like, scared, you know, because she was, like, not expecting him to come into the room, and she was just daydreaming about Robin, so, of course, she felt a little bit guilty. But I don't think that he was doing it in, like, a mean way. Like, I didn't read any of his... like words or like feelings towards her. I didn't see any kind of aggression there until after Robin showed up. And then after Robin showed up, he was like, well, just like old times, isn't it? Take whatever you want, you know, like do all that stuff, right? So it's yeah, so I don't know. That's just my thought about it, at least.
Yeah, so
but you weren't a fan.
That's the show. That's our review. So ending this, I ask you, why do you think Robin left Batman? Because they've kind of hinted towards it, but they haven't like shown a scene where like, yeah, they're just hating each other. So.
Rabbit says, Dove thinking Robins always fly up. Oh my god. So it's again hard to tell, but I think that Robin, if it's anything like Dick Grayson in the past, I think Robin was fed up with being told what to do, being pushed around and being in the shadow of Batman. And I think that he wanted to do his own thing, and now he's still trying to do that. So I think that he left amicably, you know, like just on good terms, was like, hey, I respect you, but nah. Or alternatively, he like kind of talks bad about him now, so it's very possible it didn't end well.
Yeah.
And that maybe Batman was like, you're nothing without me, and then Robin was like, yeah, probably, and then left anyway.
So I think it was something to where Robin slowly started treating the enemies the way that we see him treating them now. And then it got to a point to where Batman's just like, you need to stop doing that. Or maybe they're like out during a fight, and then Robin's like killing dudes. Yeah, like severely beating people. And Batman and him, like Batman and Robin, end up getting into an altercation where Batman's trying to like stop him from killing the person, and then he just decides like, I'm done with this, and then leaves. I think it was something more like that. I don't think it was.
I can see that happening. I think that that's a very likely situation, considering how he is now, and how now we have confirmation that in this universe he wasn't like that before. Like, because of what Dove says, like, wow, you really have changed, haven't you? We know that he wasn't the kind of murder tornado that he turned into, right? We know that it's accurate. But we know that that's a thing, right? So I think that's a very likely possibility. In fact, I think that's good story writing right there if they connect it back to his whole killing thing. Because one of my questions for the last discussion about this, when I hadn't seen it yet, I was wondering, why is Robin this way? Like, what made him this way? And I really hope that they answer that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, alright. Is there any final thing that you want to talk about?
Justice. I have cinnamon rolls, so no, I just really want to eat those.
Rabbit says, so he really kills. Yes, he threw a ninja star into someone's eyeball and then grabbed it out and just put it back on his chest. And then there's other people he's like cut their throats and stuff. And then in the first episode, it looked like he had killed people by like cutting their throats.
Yeah, and like he beats, because he still has like a baton, like Robin's signature baton. He still has that, and he beats a dude's face with it, and you can see blood just splatter against a window. And it's like, that man is dead. Like, that man is gone. So yeah, he really does kill in DC Titans. But I actually... How did you feel about the episode overall? Like, you rated the last one an 8. You rated the last one an 8.5.
My rating.
How would you rate? How would you? No, you rated the last one an 8.5. How would you rate this one on a scale from 1 to 10?
I think this one was not as good as the first episode.
So you're rating it lower than 8.5.
Yeah, I guess I would give it like a 7.
See, I gave the last one a 7. I would probably give this one like an 8.5. Like, I would give this... No, I'd probably give this one an 8. But, like, I thought it took a step in the right direction when it comes to certain things. Other things, not so much. I really wish that instead of seeing Hawk and Dove this early on, I wish we got to see Beast Boy and Starfire and more characters that we actually, like, care about. Not that people don't care about Hawk and Dove. I'm sure they have fans somewhere. But like when you think of Titans, you don't think of Hawk and Dove. You think of Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Robin. You know, like
maybe
and
that's
of
why
course
they
Raven.
just introduced them and killed them off.
No, because the Hawk is still around too. He was like stirring when Robin climbed over the edge.
Maybe I just don't like his character. I don't know.
You must hate his character
Yeah.
because I thought he was so funny. Like I thought he was like such a genuinely good. I don't know if it's the actor or just the direction that they're writing him, but I thought I thought it was really funny when he was getting tortured in the beginning, and he like the dude pulls out the big scissors, and he's like, whoa, hold on, talk about this. Like it was kind of funny. Imagine this becoming a Joker origin. Oh God.
So this is like during this, I would say like the Joker's probably already existed for like 5 or 10 years. Like I don't think, because this is like Robin has already
we know he has. We know he has. Because the
'cause
police
they reference
officers
him.
in the first episode, they referenced the Joker, yeah.
So it's like, because Robin was already a kid, like Batman was already a thing for like 5 years or whatever, and then he finds, he goes and like adopts Robin. And then Robin is his sidekick for like 10 years because he's a kid. And then you imagine like 10 to 12 years later, after he's an adult, then he leaves. And this is a year or two after he leaves Batman. So the Joker is probably a thing already for like 10 years. And this wouldn't just be like something to just set up for the Joker, because it's for like all of the Titans. It's not just focused on like Batman's people. Like Robin's in it, but that's basically it. Like it's more focused on like Raven, it seems, because the bad guys are all after Raven.
Which I hate. Like honestly, I like Raven as a character, but I want there to be more than just Raven. This isn't Raven and friends. It's Titans, not Titan. It should be talking more about other people. Also, Agus says, My thinks torture is funny. You damn right I do. They are going to have Jason Todd. Maybe this is why he kills now, because Batman won't kill the Joker. Wait, they're going to have Jason Todd. Maybe that is why he kills now, because Batman won't kill the Joker. But we've already well, unless you mean like the new Robin, like we get introduced to at some point.
Yeah, they said around episode 7 or 8. And like this Robin will like have scenes or altercations with the other, like the new Robin.
I thought you said that was Nightwing though.
Well, he becomes Nightwing, and then yeah.
Yeah, but Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. That's the thing that's really confusing. But it just depends on what they do with it.
That's just what they said in the interview. I don't know. They said that like Nightwing would like have like there would be arguments and stuff with the new one. So for
sure. Yeah, I like that. I would rate it 8 out of 10 for this episode. And I'm excited to see the next episode and hopefully actually understand Starfire a little bit better. Because after watching the episode last week, as much as I really wasn't interested in Starfire, I actually really liked her personality. The very little that we saw of it, like her kind of clumsy, like, oh, I have no idea who I am right now. But she was also really intimidating and kind of a BA is just like it was interesting to see her in that way after I was kind of biased against her as a character, and then kind of going the other way. I actually kind of like her, and I'm interested to see more. So I would definitely recommend it, giving it a chance.
Luke,
I'm so sad. Why wasn't I invited to the Spider-Man podcast?
It's Titans.
Yeah,
Is there a Spider-Man podcast?
No, but there needs to be, and we should totally do one. That would be a lot of fun.
We'll
Would be a lot of fun.
Watch Venom.
Oh, you're right. If I watch Venom, we can do it.
Yeah.
Easy.
All right. So it's been 45 minutes. I think that's long enough, right? No one seems to have any more questions. I'm sorry to the Joker fan in the chat, but I don't think this will have really anything at all to do with the Joker. Like, we might get another Easter egg to where like someone mentions him in a sentence, but that's it. Like I don't think you'll even see anything.
If they were really hurting for views, which they probably are because nobody has the DC app, they would introduce the Joker, like, as soon as possible. Because if people see the Joker, they're going to want to go ahead and see the show. That's just how that works. It's true.
Yeah, because I don't, like, they would have to, because they said, like, if they introduced the Joker, they would have to introduce, like, Batman. And then they said that, like, you'll see Batman, but he won't really be a part of the show. Like, they said you'll see, like, the back of him, or you'll hear a conversation that Bruce Wayne has with someone, but you'll never actually see, like, a scene with him in it. Like, you won't see Batman being Batman. You'll just see.
But that
like,
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because, I mean, everybody's already seen Batman. You know, I think nobody will ever get really tired of seeing Batman as long as it's played well. But considering there's, like, Gotham already, and then Ben Affleck's Batman, and
what would be
Bale's
really
Batman.
cool?
What?
Because they're ending Gotham. This next season's the last season.
Are they really?
Of Gotham. Yeah.
Oh.
So, and the last episode's going to have a 10-year time skip. So, like, the last episode takes place 10 years in the future when he's already been Batman for, like, 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool if this Titans was, like, a 10, 15 years in the future of Gotham. So, like, the Batman that he's talking about is the Batman that we see from Gotham. And they, like, made them connect.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That would be really, really neat.
That way, whenever they mention Batman, it's not just it's a random Batman. It's a Batman that we already know and we already watched for, like, 10 years. Or 5 years or whatever.
Yeah. Gotcha. Rabbit said, you just need Jason Todd. He is killed by the Joker in the Killing Joke comic. Yes, but the show isn't about Joker or about Batman, right? It's about Titans. And if you ever watch Teen Titans and mostly about Raven so far. I really hope it doesn't stay that way. I really hope it doesn't stay that way.
All the bad guys that have attacked so far, they're just trying to kill Raven because, I mean, they're kind of right. Like, she is a literal demon child.
Yeah.
So they're kind of good guys trying to stop a big evil thing. Like,
do we know that the family is trying to kill her?
Well, it seemed like it was like a secret behind the scenes government type of situation where it's like a secret agency no one knows. Because, like, the business guy goes there and he's like, oh, we need to stop this. Like, you're activated. And then before, like, in Germany or Russia, wherever Starfire was, like, they were still... So it seemed like a giant, weird, evil organization that's trying to stop them. Gotham is Fox, though, right? Teen Titans is not... Well, they're all DC, though. Like, DC allows Fox to make Gotham. It's the same with... DC allowed Fox, I think it was Fox, to make, or maybe it was ABC, to make Supergirl. Supergirl was on a completely different channel than the rest of the CW shows, but they still had a crossover, even though completely different stations owned them. Like, CW makes Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and everything. And a completely different station made Supergirl, but they still crossed over even though the stations had nothing to do with each other.
Right.
It was just because WB, who owns them, the Warner Brothers, or DC, whatever, Warner Brothers owns DC. So even though, like, they could have 5 different things across 5 different channels, and they could still be like, we want them all to connect and work with each other, because in the end, they're the ones that have the say, not the channels. The channel just has the rights to air them.
Right.
So,
yep, cool.
Yeah.
Rabbit says, well, I think Raven is just first series main character. Next season will be based off another Titan. That implies that they think that they're going to have more than just one season of the show.
Yeah.
But what if the season sucks? Then they're banking Like, say if they are like, oh yeah, this season's gonna be about Raven, but the next one's gonna be about Starfire. But everybody doesn't want to wait for season 2 to hear about Starfire. They want to go ahead and watch Starfire now. Why would they call it Titans if they were just gonna go ahead and make it about one character the entire time?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Even though like the main bad guy seems to be about Raven, like they've done a nice job of connecting everyone together. Because
in the first episode.
Yeah.
And then not even. They didn't connect Starfire or Beast Boy.
Well, no, but like, so Starfire was doing whatever she was doing, and then it led to her finding the picture of Raven, and then she got interested. And then, like, they had a clever way of how Raven and Robin ended up meeting each other, and then how it all got kind of connected. I thought it was kind of clever. Sophie Lane says, oh, I didn't know there was a Supergirl crossover. Yeah, so it started out on the other channel, but then CW ended up buying the rights to it. So CW now makes it, and there's been tons of crossovers. Like, there's probably like 12 episodes of Supergirl crossovers so far. Because there was one where aliens came and attacked. There's one where the Flash just ran so fast that he appeared on another Earth, which turned out to be Supergirl's Earth. They had an episode where Supergirl came to our Earth and teamed up with the Flash to stop. It was like a weird Glee reunion because like they had to sing throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, because the character or the actor Grant Gustin who plays Flash was actually on Glee.
Yeah.
So.
And then they had one where it was like a different Earth. They called Earth X, where like America, like whatever, the Nazis won the World War II. So then they took over, and then Supergirl was like evil and everything, and they had to stop them. And then this season, the crossover is like the actor who normally plays the Flash is playing Green Arrow, and the actor that normally plays Green Arrow is playing the Flash. Superman's wearing in the pictures he's wearing a black Superman suit, which kind of implies like in the comics he wore the black suit after Doomsday killed him and he came back to life. He had like the long hair. He looked like a goth Superman kind of. And then so Superman's in that, and Supergirl kind of just looks like Supergirl. But yeah, there's been tons and tons of crossovers. Like, I would say maybe like 12, like I said earlier. What game is this? No, we're talking about TV show. Yeah.
Yep.
DC Universe.
DC's Titans.
Yeah. All right. So, sorry guys. That's all of it. We could stay here for more hours and talk, but she has to stream later, maybe, possibly. Who knows? If she gets enough encouragement, go find her on... Where do we find you?
www.twitch.tv/Maya Danny. Hi. Hello. I stream on Twitch. I play video games. Right now we're playing Breath of the Wild. We might finish it up today. Maybe. We're in the middle of doing the Champions Ballad DLC. So we're gonna finish that up, and then we might go fight Ganon. Maybe. All
right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Guys.
We love you all.